After confirming by fingerprint match and DNA match, this case was considered solved in April of 2000. Lisa Fracassi. Lisa Fracassi was born in New Jersey in 1958, and she had dreams of becoming a nurse. One of her friends, Renee, told a news outlet she was a caring person like a nurse who would sit for hours with people who needed help. In 1987, she was living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and working in a hospital. One night, she was driving with a 49-year-old man and had her first and only run-in with the law. They were pulled over by police for a broken tag light, but Lisa was arrested since she was also driving with a suspended license. While the police were arresting her, they noticed cocaine residue in the vehicle and searched the car, finding 1.5 kilos of cocaine and 28 grams of marijuana. Because of this, she was also charged with possession of cocaine with intent to sell, felony possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and trafficking cocaine in excess of 400 grams. By 1990, it seemed like Lisa had put this incident behind her. She moved to Hawaii and began working as an exotic dancer in an effort to make enough money to put herself through nursing school. In the beginning of October 1994, she had just broken up with her boyfriend. They had dated for about 7 months before their breakup, and he worked as a police officer for the Honolulu Police Department. According to Lisa's closest friend, Renee, she remained friendly with him, and it was by no means a bad breakup. By the end of the month, Lisa had started seeing someone new. On Wednesday, October 27th, Lisa didn't show up for work, and coworkers became worried when she also doesn't show up the following Thursday and Friday. In an interview with police, Lisa's boss said that on Friday she called him and told him that she was quitting and had plans to work for another club. But the next day, Saturday the 30th, she called him back and asked if she could come in to work. She worked that night until 2 a.m., which would be the last time she was seen alive. She was scheduled to work Tuesday, but never showed up. Her boss called her to check in, but she didn't answer. He called again on Wednesday and Thursday when she still didn't show up for work, but again, he got no response. That Thursday, the housekeeper at the hotel Lisa was living in stopped by her room to drop off clean linens, but there was a Do Not Disturb sign hanging on her door handle. Hotel staff reported that they'd seen this sign on her door for days in a row at this point, since that past Saturday. The housekeeper knocked on the door and received no response. Since the Do Not Disturb sign had been there so long, she entered the room. That's when she discovered Lisa's bruised body. The medical examiner determined that she had likely been deceased for 4 days when she was found and died as a result of strangulation. From there, investigators got to work to find her killer. Lisa's ex-boyfriend was given a polygraph test, which he passed. The police collected some evidence from the scene, and luckily, just a year before in 1993, Honolulu police began using a new, more effective method of storing DNA. But after a while, the case went cold. The next development wasn't until the year 2000, when John Eric Armstrong, a sailor in the Navy, was suspected of Lisa's murder. He had been linked to the deaths of some sex workers in the 90s when he was stationed around the country. The lead was promising, but he was ultimately ruled out as a suspect. The next development in the case happened in 2016, when the Honolulu Police Department set up a cold case unit called the Aoli Poinia Project, which means never forgotten. In March of 2020, HPD took another look at the fingerprints and DNA taken from the crime scene. They sent the DNA to Parabon Nanolabs to try and get a snapshot of what the perpetrator may look like based on his DNA. When this happened, well-known genetic genealogist Cecil Moore took a look at the case, and just like that, a DNA match was made. Cecil Trent was identified as a suspect. Cecil Trent was 29 years old when Lisa died. According to his family, Trent died from congestive heart failure in 2013 at the age of 48. At the time of his death, he still lived in Honolulu and he had 3 children. After he died, his fingerprints were taken and they matched the ones found at the crime scene. After confirming by fingerprint match and DNA match, this case was considered solved in April of 2020.